Hey guys, welcome to part 3 in my plantar fasciitis rehab video series. In this video we're going to start looking at some actual rehab work. We're going to keep it simple with just some stage 1 early stage rehab with just a little bit of stretching. So as I mentioned in part 1 of this video series, plantar fasciitis is not a short-term issue. Most people are going to be experiencing symptoms for a number of months. The average, I believe, is around about 8 to 9 months. For some people it's much longer, for some people it's shorter. Everyone is a little bit different with this, but one thing we do know is that rehab tends to help. It can help speed up the recovery, and it also helps to strengthen things up to keep it at bay in the future so that you don't have a relapse. Now what we're going to do with this rehab is we're going to split it into 3 videos. So in part 1 we're going to look at some stretching just to help lengthen out all the tissues that may be causing some of that irritation. Part 2, we're going to start introducing some strength work so we can start handling a little bit more load through those tissues. And then part 3 is going to be some more advanced exercises for as you're getting towards the end of experiencing your symptoms so that you can really build the strength up in those tissues to help avoid it coming back in the future. Right, let's get on with some stretches. So we're going to start off by stretching off our toes. So we're going to start with the big toe. So just take the big toe. You're going to do this sitting down so that you're not trying to take too much weight through. And you're just going to push the big toe into the floor and pull the heel up off the floor. And you should feel a nice stretch underneath the toe and then running all the way up the tissues in the foot. Here, you're going to hold that for around about 10 to 20 seconds. If you find it starts to get really sore, then obviously just stop and try and slowly build up that stretch time over a few days or a few weeks. When you've stretched that toe, you're then going to stretch the other toes. So just push the other toes into the floor. And again, you're going to feel a stretch in the toes and then in the tissues running up the other side of the foot. And again, hold for about 10 to 20 seconds. If you find it starts feeling quite easy and you get to 10 to 20 seconds, then have a little rest and repeat and do it a few times a day. There's no such thing as doing this too much, so you can do it as often as you like to give yourself a bit of relief of the symptoms and to start helping reduce some of that irritation. When you've done them in that direction, we're then going to do all the toes together in the other direction. So just pushing down like so. And again, just hold for 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, so when you've done all the toes, we're then going to stretch out the muscles of the side of the ankle here and here. So first off, you're just going to push the side of the foot into the floor like so. You may not feel quite so much of a stretch in this one, but you will be stretching out the tissues here. Again, 10 to 20 seconds, and then in the other direction like so. We're now going to stretch off the foot as a whole and start actually introducing some stretches into the calf muscles. So to do this, we're going to use a wall. You're going to start off by just pushing your toes into the wall like so. You're then going to bend the knee and push the knee towards the wall. Okay, this is going to instantly start feeling like a good stretch in your Achilles tendon and also into the sole of the foot itself. Again, you're going to hold this one for 10 to 20 seconds. So this next one is more for the Achilles tendon and the soleus, which is the bottom calf muscle here. So what we're going to do for this one is you're going to start with your foot around about a hand from the wall. You're going to keep your foot flat on the floor and you're just going to drive the knee towards the wall. Like so. And straight away you're going to feel a nice stretch all in here. Okay, what's nice with this one is after you hold it for about 10 seconds, you may feel the muscles relax a bit and you can then go a little bit deeper. Try to keep that heel on the floor. If you start coming up on the heel, you're going to lose the stretch. So don't go so close that you have to come up on your heel. Go to the point where your heel feels like it wants to come up and then stop there and hold it. Okay, again, 10 to 20 seconds. See if you can increase it a little bit after that and then hold for another 10 seconds or so. And we're also going to stretch off the gastrocnemius, which is the bigger chunk of calf muscle at the top here. So to do this one, you're actually going to put the leg behind, like so. Again, make sure the foot is flat on the floor, but keep the knee straight this time, and then bend the front knee and just shift your weight forward until you feel a nice stretch along the back here. Again, with this one, you may find that after 10 to 20 seconds, it starts to settle down a little bit and you can go even further into that stretch. And try to keep that heel on the floor. Again, if you lift the heel up, you're going to lose the stretch. Hold it for 10 to 20 seconds, see if you can go a little bit further, and then hold for another 10 seconds or so. Okay, and finally, we're going to stretch off the anterior tibialis muscle, which is the one that runs at the front of the leg here. To do this one, we're going to stretch both at the same time. So put your toes together like so, with your heels flared out, and then just sit back onto your heels until you feel a stretch on the front of the legs, like so. If you feel like you're not getting much of a stretch, then lean further back into it and just put your hands down for a little bit of support, and you'll soon start feeling that stretch up the front of the leg running either side of the shin. Again, 10 to 20 seconds. If you feel it release, just go a little bit deeper. See if you can enhance that stretch a little bit. 10 to 20 seconds and then stop the stretch. Okay, so there we have it. That is stage 1 of our rehab for plantar fasciitis. Now this is the really early stage of rehab, so you're going to do this stuff when the pain is still quite prevalent. I'd recommend you do this for the first couple of weeks before you start thinking about introducing any strengthening exercises, which we're going to see in the next video, just to give all the tissues a chance to settle down a little bit and start to reduce that irritation. There's absolutely no limit to how often you do these stretches. I'd recommend to start off with you do them at least once a day, ideally even twice a day, just to really give these tissues a chance to calm down. And then when you start introducing the strength exercises, I would recommend that you continue to do some of this stretching just to ensure that those strength exercises aren't further irritating things and tending you back a step. Okay, I hope you like this video, guys. I hope it's helpful. If you did find it useful, please hit the like button and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss the next 2 parts of the rehab. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.